Hello, I am Michelle Norrell, and this is Life Giving Joy. Now, I want to share with you my 3 tips in navigating a entrepreneurial life as a mom. Mompreneur. How to navigate this thing called building a business. So, my very first tip, the very first thing that I have been currently doing and working on myself is knowing my workflow, really knowing what works best for me. Whether that's working in the morning before my kids wake up, or when my kids go to bed, or somewhere in between. Really know that for yourself. When is your best time? When you have the most energy, or when you feel at your best, where you feel like you can really work. Now, depending on your age of your children, if you have really young kids, it's probably the best thing for them to be sleeping or occupied doing something else. If your husband's able to be with your kids, or you're able to get a sitter. I know in this time I haven't really gotten a sitter with everything going on with COVID and all that. But I do feel like what works best for me is when my children are sleeping, because it's just easier for me personally. My daughter is 4, my son is 8, and they are very active. And so for me, what works is 8 p.m. I put them to bed, and then that is my time to transition into what I need to do for my work. And that is my work time. I really consider like I'm going to work, even though I'm not leaving my house. I'm not going anywhere necessarily. I'm just coming to my room, and I'm sitting at the desk, and I'm going to work. And I make it really exciting. I make it really transitional. I literally will put on red lipstick. I will do my makeup. I will literally do that because it really helps me mentally to transition. So that is my very first tip. My second tip is to really block out your hours. Block out your power hour in that time. So if you only have an hour, then you have an hour. I call that my power hour. That is my hour to just knock out whatever it is I need to do. If that's creating content that day, or if it's a little bit of admin stuff, or if I'm doing some research, building a website, whatever that may be, that is what I'm doing during that power hour. And whatever I'm able to accomplish in that hour is what I'm able to accomplish in that hour. I do that because honestly, there's so much when you're just starting out, like I am right now. There is so much to build. There is so much to just start the starter, just to get started, get out there, connecting with people and all these things. There's so much information out there. And so as in my season of life, my pace is not going to be that of someone who is single without kids, or married without children, or someone who's an empty nester. It is going to be different. I'm in the middle thick of raising children, and just the thick of it right now. And so I really believe that it is so important to give yourself that hour and make that okay. Be okay with that power hour. It doesn't have to be 6, 8, 5 hours. Honestly, that's not realistic for me. It's just not. In my season of life, it's not. So I've let go of that fantasy. Throw that fantasy out the door. What I focus on is what I can do. And so within that blocking out your hours, hey, if you have 3 hours, plan each hour and give yourself that hour to focus on each thing that you want to do. That's my second tip. My third tip, really, really have your self-care plan and your soul care plan and know the difference. For example, my self-care, I need to get a hot shower every single day. I need to start my day with a hot shower. Hot shower. I need that hot water. And I like to have my diffuser going and my essential oils, have my lavender and my mint, my eucalyptus going. And it's like my spa time. I consider that I'm going to the spa in the morning. I set my mind, I got my robe, I get my slippers. That is my self-care time before I do anything. That is the first thing I do. I have to do that. If I don't do that in the first thing in the morning, guess what? It's not going to happen. So really have something that you do for your personal wellness. A second thing that I'm really focusing on right now is drinking water. I carry this water bottle with me. I refill it constantly, and I'm just constantly drinking water because I can forget to drink water. Go about my day and I forget, oh wow, I've only had like a glass, or I haven't drank any at all. So that's something I do for self-care. And another thing, I love coffee. I have my cup of coffee in my favorite pink mug every morning, and I sit on my balcony and I have my cup of coffee. That is what I do. It is part of my self-care, and that is vital for me to do every single day. For my soul care, building a business right now and making sure that I'm blocking out that time, making sure that I'm really knowing what works for me, what doesn't work for me, really knowing my values, knowing my goals, really knowing what makes me just sing from the inside out. That is my soul care. Becoming an entrepreneur and entering this whole world of entrepreneurship has been so fulfilling for me. And so for me, it is vital that I do this. I have to do this. I feel compelled to do this. I cannot afford not to do this. It needs to feel that way for you. That's what soul care is. It is a thing that makes the little hairs on your back stand up, and you're like, I just gotta do this thing. I just gotta do it. And you actually do it. You do it. No excuses. You make it happen. Like I said, the second tip, if you only have that hour, then you give yourself, devote 1 hour a day to what makes your soul sing. Honey, it is life-giving. Those are my 3 tips. Know your workflow. Block out your power hour or your hours, but focus on blocking out that hour. Have your self-care and your soul care plan in place. Because as mothers, it is so easy to forget what we need, who we are. I have been there. That is why I'm doing what I'm doing, because I have been in a space where I don't even know who I am, where I don't know if I'm coming or going. I have been there. And so I get you, I see you, I relate to you. This is what I'm currently working on right now, because I am just starting, I am building, and I am enjoying the process. But it really takes me following these tips for myself just to get started, so I feel good about my own process. Those are my 3 tips. Again, I am Michelle Norrell, and this is Life Giving Joy. If this is your jam, please hit subscribe, and I want to keep this conversation going. Till next time, bye for now.